Good morning. Hello, it's Mrs. Taylor again, and I'm excited to jump back in to sharing our weekly social emotional lesson. So, we hope that everyone had an amazing weekend, and we're excited to dive into such a timed topic right now, I think. Go back and watch the previous videos, but we've covered empathy, we've covered showing up as a leader and being kind, we've covered feeling angry and it's okay to feel angry and how to cope with feeling angry. In other words, what to do with our anger, right? But today, and I think some of you fellow parents out there are going to get a little giggle out of this. Today we are covering tattling versus reporting, and this is always a really hot topic when I cover this in either workshop series or in schools, at this time, right, we may all be experiencing lots of tattling. So I'm using this opportunity with my own 3 kiddos here at home, and I would empower you parents out there and caregivers to do the same. Use this time to really help work with your kiddos on conflict resolution, right? There's no better opportunity than right now to really help our kiddos, even teenagers, truthfully, learn how to resolve conflict with each other. And so I'm excited to share about tattling versus reporting today, right? So each day I've been bringing a book. I think, I know there's so much power in stories and so much power in books when it comes to teaching social emotional skills. And I haven't been reading all of the books just for time's sake, but I've been sharing a book on each social emotional skill because I want to encourage you to go out there and rent these books. So this book, and some of my kiddos from school and workshops are familiar with this book. It's a good one when talking about tattling and reporting. It's called Don't Squeal Unless It's a Big Deal. And it's by Jeannie Ransom. Don't squeal unless it's a big deal, okay? And through this book, Mrs. McNeil is the classroom teacher, and she's a pig, and she has a bunch of piggy students, and they are doing a whole lot of tattling on each other. They're tattling on things like, she's looking at me, she's talking too loud, she's using my pencil, she's tapping my chair, right? And Mrs. McNeil gets fed up. Can any parents out there relate, right? Mrs. McNeil has had it with the tattling. And so she talks with her class in this book about tattling versus reporting, right? She calls it squealing, right? Don't squeal unless it's a big deal. Don't tattle unless it's a big deal, right? And she comes up with a new class rule, just like we can come up with a new home rule, right? Don't squeal unless it's a big deal. When do we report? When is it okay to ask an adult, a caregiver, a teacher for help in conflict resolution? Let's talk about that, okay? So I think we all know what tattling is, right? Tattling is when maybe we're trying to just get someone in trouble. Tattling happens sometimes when we just don't know what else to do, right? And we always want you to feel assertive. We always want kiddos to feel like they can use their voice to advocate for themselves, 100%. But we also want to teach our kiddos how to conflict resolve without always having to get an adult involved, right? And so, is it tattling or is it reporting? If you don't know, I want you to ask yourself a couple of these questions. Am I just telling to get the other person in trouble? If the answer is yes, you're probably tattling. Am I telling to try to help someone or hurt someone? If you're telling to just try to hurt someone's feelings, you're probably tattling. Is someone else being hurt or in danger? If the answer is yes, then you absolutely should report to an adult. Is this a problem I can try to solve on my own? Did I try to solve this problem on my own? Okay. If you've tried to speak to the person first and they're not listening, then you absolutely should seek and report help from an adult. Okay. I always say, friends out there, for a rule of thumb, if someone's being hurt, if someone's in danger, if property is being damaged, okay, then you absolutely should report it. And that goes for animals too. If animals are being hurt or in danger, you should absolutely report to an adult, right? Okay. So what can you say when someone is bothering you, right? Because we see that conflict a lot among kids, right? She's bothering me. She's looking at me. She won't share, right? What can you say when someone's bothering you in a calm and respectful voice? Please stop. I like it better when you don't do that. It bugs me when you do that, and I wish you would please stop, right? Those phrases, right? Teaching our kiddos to use those phrases and similar phrases are helping our kiddos advocate and be assertive, right? Okay, so remember, don't squeal unless it's a big deal, okay? And is someone in danger? Is someone being hurt? Is an animal in danger, or is an animal being hurt? Is property being damaged? If the answer to any of those is a yes, then you absolutely should report, okay? Otherwise, let's try this week, right, to problem solve with our brothers and sisters, okay? Let's try to problem solve and do less tattling this week, okay? Again, parents, my tip for you, this is a beautiful opportunity to help our kiddos learn those conflict resolution skills. So deep breaths, count to 10, right? And let's help our kiddos learn to solve those problems, right, in our four walls so that they can then generalize those skills out into the community and into school, okay? Don't squeal unless it's a big deal, okay? Stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share the YouTube channel with friends and family, and we look forward to sharing some additional social emotional tools throughout this week, you guys. Have a beautiful Monday.